Hello everybody, Zell here, and welcome to joining me on my playthrough of Final Fantasy 1 for the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. Planning to go through all the games here, kicking it off with the first one, go through them all in order, and aiming for this to be a complete playthrough, 100%, get all the trophies, achievements, unlocks, whatever it is on the platform that you're playing it on. So without further ado, let's get started into the game. So, starting with the party, I've gone with the classic party that everybody, I think, should use on their first playthrough, and the beginner-friendly one, we're taking a warrior, a monk, a white mage, and a black mage. And then as for the names, I went with what they were given in the novelization of Final Fantasy 1 through 3, assuming these are translated correctly. So we've got Zest the warrior, Fritz the monk, Flo the white mage, and we'll have Daewoo the black mage. So I like this party, and it's one I'd always recommend for new players because you get that full utility of everything you need. So you've got your damage output of warrior and monk at the start, the white mage to cover all the healing bases you need, and the black mage for any and all elemental output that your party will require. So with the party made, let's get into the game. The world lies shrouded in darkness. Winds die. The seas rage. The earth decays. But the people believe in a prophecy, patiently awaiting its fulfillment. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. After a long journey, 4 young travellers did at last appear. And in the hand of each was clutched a crystal. Air, water, earth and fire. And there we are, we're off. Just the opening controls that the game gives us to look at what to do. As for dialogue in this game, I will end up covering the majority of the main dialogue, so anything that's kind of like a cutscene or whatnot. We get the ability to turn encounters on and off for this game. Overall, look at the map. There's an auto battle feature, which I forgot was added to this version, but one that will come in very useful. So just getting used to where all the controls are, amending the audio here because it's a little bit too loud for me, which you won't notice on your side, but coming through my headphones in my ears it was. So we're getting ready to go into Concordia now and getting started with the story. So in Concordia, there's a bunch of buildings we can go and look at, but if we speak to one of these guards, there's one at the top as well, it immediately takes us through to the king. Welcome, travellers. I am told you carry crystals. Is this true? It's as Lucan's prophecy foretold. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. Your Majesty, we cannot be certain that these are the warriors foretold by the prophecy. Yet they stand before us with the crystals. I cannot dismiss this as mere coincidence. Crystal bearers, there is a task I would ask of you. Will you rescue my daughter Sarah? Garland, a knight once in His Majesty's service, has abducted Princess Sarah. I ask for your aid in the name of His Majesty, the King of Cornelia. Garland has taken refuge in the Chaos Shrine, which lies to our north. Of course, we did attempt to save the princess ourselves, but Garland is the finest swordsman in the kingdom. We have none who can match him. I have heard that you wish to journey to the continent to our north. The bridge leading north was lost long ago, making passage impossible. If you can rescue Sarah, I will have the bridge rebuilt as a token of my gratitude. Go now, warriors of light, and do not fail me. Well, there we go. We've got our first mission. Got to go and rescue the princess and defeat Garland in the meantime. So after here, we're going to head back downstairs into the main part of the castle. I was just trying to remember if these guys gave you anything. There are some chests in here behind locked doors, but they won't be accessible for quite a while. Just checking again if there's anybody that gives anything up here, but I don't believe there is. I'm going to take a wander around, speaking to everybody and seeing if there is any chests I can't remember that you can access now, but I don't believe there is, so if not, I will just cut to the point where I finish searching, not to waste your time while I run around this area. Okay, so I'm back again, and as I thought, there is definitely nothing for us to get, so time to head into the actual town itself instead of the castle, and we can stock up on all the equipment we need, and I'll just speak to the variety of people that are around us as well. So this is the inn. This is where we can heal up if needs be, and there's 4 instructors here that will teach us about the various mechanics of the game, which I will let these go through just in case anybody new watching, but otherwise, as a rough rundown, we've got armor and weapons, which obviously increase your respective attack and defense stats based on what you've given them. Different classes can only equip certain items. You can't give mages heavy armor, whereas warriors can, and staffs and swords are specifically restricted. This guy tells us about items, so potions, antidotes, whatnot, for outside of battle and in battle healing, but then there's also 3 things we can use outside of battle in the overworld, which are tents, cottages, and sleeping bags, which are just used like tents in the subsequent games that just heal you when you're in the open world. This guy will give us a rough explanation about monsters. So monsters, not all, but a variety of monsters will have resistances and weaknesses, and then resistances obviously reduce damage that they take, and weaknesses is they'll take a lot more damage from that respective element. Mostly has to do with elemental attacks. And then white mage and white magic is mostly for healing and protection, but that's not always the case. There are some offensive spells. And as for learning magic, you can learn a certain amount of spells per level, per magic level. I believe it's always capped at 3. And you can only carry that many spells of each level at a time, but you can forget spells if needed in the menu. So as for equipping our party, the warrior I want left as it is. The monk I want unequipped. I want the monk to have no equipment for a very good reason. You might have noticed it there on the stat changes for the defense and evasion. The monk is different to all the other characters in that while they use weapons and armor for stats for attack and protection, the monk also has a unique mechanic where it looks at your level, has a multiplier, and makes your defense and your attack equal to that, because the idea is you're meant to be unarmed. So very, very quickly, there will never be the case that the monk would ever need an item, and I think from my playthrough I'll just keep them unequipped as we go. So going up further, there's just a bunch of characters and small items we can interact with. These types of characters, the dancer in the city, will give us an idea of where we're meant to go at later points in the game if there's anything we're confused about. So in here is the item shop. This is where we can buy our potions and antidotes and whatnot. I debated getting some antidotes now, but I think I'll end up coming back to buy those a little bit later when we've got a bit more gil. Then over the other side over here is the weapon and armor shops. So as for the weapon shop, the only thing I really need right now is a rapier just to give to the warrior, but I do like owning one of every item, so I'm going to pick up one of each of these just as a going forward, I know I've collected one of everything. I don't think there's any achievement for it in this game, but it's always something I like doing. A nice thing about this old Final Fantasy game as well is your equipment can always be handled in the shop menu. So there's the buy menu, but there's also equip, so you don't have to back out and then go into your inventory and do it that way. As for the armor shop, there's a couple of things we can get here to bulk our characters out. Chainmail can go on our warrior, and leather armor could go on our monk, but again, it doesn't quite do enough. So we're just going to end up leaving him, again, without having any equipment on. But I'll show it off here now. So you can see the leather armor increases defense only by 1, which, considering he was wearing nothing beforehand, it's a very minor increase. And then as soon as we get a single level up, it should be higher than that by default. So the two up here are the Black Mage and White Mage shop. So they'll each going to sell 4 spells, but we only really need to pick up 2 of them, but I'll grab 3 just for the case. Fire and Thunder we definitely want, because they are our main damage focusing spells, and then I'm also going to grab Focus just in case there's a boss fight where I find that it could do some work, but it's probably something we're never going to cast. But yes, there's only 3 spells we can carry. There's the forget menu there if there's something I want to lose. And then the 2 out of 2 is how many spells we can currently cast. Unlike future Final Fantasy games, I can't remember if 2 does this as well, you don't learn new spells by leveling up. You only learn spells by buying them here. So there's a limit to how many you can carry of each level at a time, and how many spell slots you have. It's basically a representation of D&D, is what this game closely followed. There's another building up here which you'll notice isn't flagged on the minimap. This is the temple, I think they're called, church. If you have a downed party member, you need to resurrect them in this building, because inns do not resurrect your party members. They would come back to 1 HP. So now we've finished in Concordia, it's time to go monster hunting. I realise here that I forgot to mention the spells I bought as well for the White Mage while I'm just going through these menus. I'm just checking if there's anything I've missed. We grabbed Cure, Protect, and Dia. Dia is a White Mage spell that affects undead creatures. So I had a quick skim of the bestiary just to see if it gave any overview, but now we're going to be looking for, I think it's 5 monsters in this area, and we're getting started with goblins. These are very easy enemies to kill, 5 to 8 HP each, I think, so almost all of my characters should be one-shotting them. And they're our immediate source of XP, because they'll give us half a level pretty much straight away. So now that we've got the goblin done, we're looking for a wolf in this area now. And then as we go further up to where we're meant to be going, to the Chaos Shrine, there'll be some other encounters we can get. The more enemies that spawn, the better, because you get more XP from a group fight. And you get to select all of your character's attacks before your opponents go. Well, not your opponents go. You select what you want all of your characters to do, and then the agility order of the turn, which we don't actually see what the order is determines how everybody attacks. You'll see that some of the characters end up having 2 goes before 1 character goes. Auto battle is quite nice here because it just means at the start of every fight, my characters will reuse the attack that I previously selected for them to use. So we'll just be spamming attack for a little while. As it seems that I'm just fighting goblins over and over at the moment, I think I will cut through to the next encounter or level up I have, just to show level ups, which as one has just happened from this fight. As you can see, we get a variety of stat increases. Stat increases are random. The class determines what stats are more likely to go up, but how much the values go up are completely random. But as we've had another goblin encounter here, I will cut it off and I'll be back once the next enemy type has been found. Right, so I'm back again because we are getting a level up from this fight. There we go, and some stat increases from my characters again. Everybody but the Black Mage has got quite high HP now. And as I've just discovered, we can switch characters by pressing the left and right bumper on the controller. who we are playing as in the overworld, and that's the Crazy Horse, which is one of the other beastry encounters I need for this area. So hopefully this should be an easy fight. Yep, taking it down, 2 easy swings, warrior and monk. So despite the fact that we found the Crazy Horse, I'm still waiting for the wolf. So as you can see in the beastry here, I've only actually encountered 2 enemies. So I'm going to continue hunting for the wolf or any of the other encounters that will happen. Those ones are a bit close to the Chaos Shrine, so I'm going to head back down for the wolf first. And I'll speed up or catch you back once I've encountered another one. So here we are, I'm back again, because this time we've encountered a Goblin Guard, which is one of the other beastries we need. So this is just a goblin that has double the HP of the previous goblins we fought. Other than that, not unique in any way, but another thing we've knocked off the beastry. So I'm going to keep grinding again, finding the remaining couple of enemies that I need, and be back again shortly. Okay, so I'm back, and we finally encountered the wolf that we've been after. It's been about another 5 minutes from where I was previously. As you can see, the health of my party are not that high. And just like that, the wolf's gone, because it's something we should have really encountered very, very quickly. But thanks to finding that and the state that we're in, we're going to go back into Concordia and heal up in the inn. Just to show that off, so all for a measly 30 gil, which we get from pretty much one encounter, our party ends up back up to full health. So now that we've finished here, we're going to pop quickly to the item shop, because I would like some potions, specifically some antidotes from an enemy that's going to occur shortly. And classic old game design, the NPCs can get in front of the doors. I'm going to be very curious how many times that happens to me during this playthrough. So yeah, just as many antidotes and potions as I can carry, and then we're going to head on up to the Chaos Shrine. So unless anything unique I encounter on the way up there, I will join you back once I'm nearby, looking for the next 2 encounters that I need. So here we are up by the Chaos Shrine, just walking around because there's 2 encounters left, and this is one of the ones I want, the skeletons. So this is where the White Mage can come in really useful here with the Dia spell that we fought earlier. Because it works against undead, it should pretty much kill all of the undead it hits, and it's also a multi-targetable spell. Unfortunately, the warrior and the monk can both one-shot skeletons as well, but as you can see there, Dia does take out undead enemies very, very well. So now we're just looking for one more enemy, which is the Gigas Worm. I will let you see the rest of this encounter with the remaining skeletons, and then I will come back once we found an encounter with the Gigas Worms, so that we can proceed into the Chaos Shrine and deal with all the enemies that appear in there. The beastry's got a lot of things for us to find, and I am being classically unlucky. So there we are. Thankfully, after not too long, we've encountered the Gigas Worms, which is the last beastry enemy we need before we go into the Chaos Shrine. These shouldn't be too difficult, hopefully. The monk definitely helping there because he's outputting ridiculous damage for me, which I just need to do that for the whole game. Just checking how much health we've got on all of our characters, depending on when this fight ends. We should have a level up from this. Yeah, we do. So we're all level 5 now. Another bit of stat increases. The Black Mage's health is still very low at the moment, though. But I think we're in an okay enough position that we can head into the Chaos Shrine. Everybody's got about half health or higher, so instead of going straight for Garland, we're going to attempt to go for some of the chests in here. There's a couple of enemies we need to find in here. I think it's about another 4 or 5. And this is one of them. This is the Werewolf. But this is a problematic enemy because it inflicts poison. And poison is something that we're not overly wanting to deal with at the moment because of how much health we're all on. And 2 werewolves is double the amount of poison that we can get, and we've just had it put on the monk. Okay, we need to take these out immediately, and we could do with healing up the monk here, but I've only got 1 spell slot left on heal. I used Dia too much. Yeah, these werewolves need to die before we lose the black mage as well. They are targeting the people that are low on health rather than my warrior. Okay, I really need the white mage to go now before the monk gets hit again. Okay, cool. Cure's going off at least. But yeah, we need to get rid of these werewolves. Alright, that's one gone. Is that going to be enough? Yes, alright, they're both down. The goblins should be a lot easier to take out. But they are still going to get a couple of attacks off, so we could still lose the black mage here. I just need them to focus anybody but the black mage. I don't really want to hit the monk either because... Yep, okay. There goes our black mage. We're going to win the fight, but it's going to put him behind quite a bit in XP. Nice 114 from that. Yep, we're not even going to go for the treasure chest here. It's too risky. We need to get out of here. It's another new enemy. Ghouls should be weak enough that we can take it out immediately. I just need them to not go before the monk does. Yeah, that should have it. Thankfully, poison is non-lethal. So, as much as I'm flashing green now, we can't actually die. So, we're going to make it back to the inn, hopefully, but it just means that we're constantly going to be on 1 HP. Crazy Horse should be fine to beat. We're just basically relying on their enemies never attacking the monk. And them not having enough enemies that we can kill them within the amount of attacks we can throw out, because as soon as it ends the turn of our round, the monk's going to take poison damage. Which, 4 goblins, is probably going to put him down. Yeah, there we go, he takes the damage. Well, we're right outside the city, so we should be okay. I don't know why I just went into the castle. I wasn't really paying attention there. So because they've both fainted, we're going to have to actually use the church this time instead of just going to the inn. So we'll get to show off that mechanic now. It's going to cost me a fair bit of gold as well because we've got to do it twice. So yes, I'd like to bring them back to life. And we'd like to bring back the other one, please. I like how it gives you the choice of which one you want to bring back. It's like, yeah, you can come back, but you can stay dead. But yeah, it's the good old D&D style of your characters aren't just knocked out, they can potentially be in good trouble. So you could, depending on how much gil you have, you could technically have no ability to resurrect some of your party members in this. But yeah, we're going to heal them up in the inn now and then head our way back to the Chaos Shrine. Alright, so attempt number 2 at trying to clear the Chaos Shrine this time. Hopefully it doesn't go as badly, but we've already managed to acquire 2 of the enemies we need to defeat from the bestiary, so let's go. 2 Goblin Guards should be an easy clear up, but that means we should be able to get to this chest that was in this room before another encounter. So a nice leather cap, and I think we'll chuck that on... Yeah, I think it can go on anybody, but I think it's probably best going on the Black Mage, because your health is the lowest. Between the Black Mage and the White Mage. You can still interact with the chest, but yeah, it's just to tell me it's empty. So now I want to head up north to the other side. But some zombies have come in, we've been ambushed, which means they get a free turn before we get to act. And of course they're targeting my White and Black Mage. But this is another enemy that we need to defeat in this area. That we've not encountered yet, but they should be relatively easy to defeat. Again, the monk and the warrior should each be one-shotting the majority of enemies we can take on at this point in the game. And if the white mage and the black mage target the same enemy, they should be able to kill them. So that's another bestiary one done. The black mage is obviously a level behind now everybody else, and the monk is slightly behind, but with that focus there, I think it's probably worth using a potion here. So let's head on up. Another set of encounters, a Warg Wolf and a Wolf. I don't know if we've fought a Warg Wolf yet, so that would be another one that we need to add. But we just need to clear all these out here. Again, the warrior and the monk, even something that can withstand one of their hits, between the two of them, they should kill almost anything here at the moment. Just need to clear up the west of these wolves. Hopefully auto battle makes this quite easy, so we're just swinging at the best or most opportune wolf at the right time. Easy clear and a good amount of XP from that one. Alright, there's another room up here that we want to get to. That should have 2 chests in. Oh, and of course we get an encounter just before. Alright, another werewolf, so that thing needs to go immediately. I don't want to end up poisoned again. Miss its attack, which is perfect. And everybody on our team is focusing the werewolf. Would have liked the monk to have gone earlier to take it out, but we live and die with that. But these goblins should be easy takes. It's annoying you don't get many spell slots this early, so you can't really just constantly dish out spells like you can when they had an MP gauge, but I suppose again it's more reflective of what D&D was like. So just a free potion and a tent there, and I think as it stands I'm missing 1 bestiary encounter, which I believe is just the, I can't remember what it's called now, Black Widow. It's a spider of some type. So we're gonna just farm around for that now, and I can't remember if there's any other chests that are accessible in this area. So I will cut over to when we get over to the other side, check the doorway, or if we encounter the spider that we're looking for in the meantime. And very quickly we get the encounter that we need, and I did remember correctly, it was a Black Widow, and again it should be a very, very easy thing that we take out. So that should be all of the enemies that we need in this area now, but we'll have a quick check of the bestiary just to confirm. Should be 1 through 11 that's done. What's this boost menu? Okay, I can amend the amount of Gil XP and encounters I have. Let's not do that. I'd like to play with the default rules at the moment. So yep, we've encountered everything 1 through 11 at the moment. As much as that wolf took a long, long time to get. I think it took the longest out of anything. But yeah, we're well on our way to completing the bestiary. I think once we take out Garland, the boss in this area, that's 10% of it done. So yeah, is this accessible in here? Of course, we get another fight just before the doorway. Another werewolf, so yeah, we've taken poison, so we'll just have to clear that off after this fight. And our black mage is getting a little dangerously low. Always enjoy it when your mages get critical hits, so they actually take something out. And there's our monk catching up, but yeah, we're going to have to use one of the antidotes here just as a precaution. But yes, not accessible. We're not in full health state at the moment, so I think we're going to quickly pop back to the inn, and then I will be back shortly to proceed with the boss fight. And of course, with heading back to the town, I get blocked by the NPC at the same store again. I'm just going to top up on some antidotes and some potions here, and then I'll meet you back once I get to the Chaos Shrine. Alright, here we are back at Chaos Shrine again. We'll make a quick save because we're getting ready to fight Garland, but this is a boss fight that should be very, very simple, truth be told. The king will have no choice but to exchange the kingdom for his daughter's life. Cornelia will be mine. Who's there? The king's lapdogs? Do you have any idea who you're messing with? You really think you have what it takes to cross swords with me? Very well. I, Garland, will knock you all down. I don't know what the bats are that he's got around him, but, you know, we might find out later. So it's a relatively simple boss fight. We just need to attack him over and over again. There's not really much of a problem that's going to be caused from all this. He's not really going to hit us very hard back, so yeah, we can just stay here swinging until he goes down. Monk doing quite a lot of damage here, getting the multi-hits on him. And I think, yep, there we go. Taking Garland down as easy as that. He's so much easier than a lot of the encounters we've even had in this place, which seems very strange for a boss for this area. But yeah, good amount of XP in Gil, and we have rescued the princess. You've come to rescue me. I am Sarah, Princess of Cornelia. Words can never be enough to thank you. That's the first time anybody's ever defeated Garland. You must allow me to show my gratitude. Please accompany me to Castle Cornelia. Got to escort her past all the monsters. They're probably going to attack us on the way there. Thank you for returning my daughter to my side. There can be no doubt that you are the Warriors of Light from Lucan's prophecy. You should hear the prophecy in its entirety, if I may. When darkness veils the world, 4 Warriors of Light shall come. If they cannot gather the shards of light, then darkness will consume all. The 4 crystals will never shine again. Now I hear that a crystal can be found on the continent to our north. Restoring light to the crystals is our only hope of ridding the world of the monsters that plague it. I will have the bridge to the north rebuilt as I promised. I pray that you succeed in restoring light to the 4 crystals and to the world. Can we have Gil or cash and whatnot as well? So yeah, the king doesn't say anything new, the chancellor doesn't say anything new, but Sarah, however, gives us a key item that we'll need for a while. A lute. So that's something acquired. We just speak to her now, otherwise when you try and leave the room she gives it to you anyway. But there we go, loot acquired. And now we can head outside of the castle and go to the bridge that should be about to be reconstructed. See how quickly they can do it and why they never did it before. Orders from His Majesty. We're to do our part to fulfill Lucan's prophecy. And all we're doing is building a bridge, but somehow that's important enough. So once that's built, which we'll be immediately ready for, we can start heading up to the next area of the game. And crossing the bridge, we'll get the exciting little intro, prologue type thing to say the game's fully starting. What does this bridge have to do with the prophecy? The 4 Warriors of Light are here. They're here in Cornelia. Alright, let's get going. All the way around. I do wish you could exit the top of the castle and come out that side of the castle, as opposed to the fact that you come out the bottom each time. But here we go. One of the best Final Fantasy songs. And a really cool image. And so their quest began. As the 4 Warriors of Light, they felt overwhelmed by the great task Destiny had placed before them. They did not even know the true significance of the 4 crystals they held in their hands. The crystals that once, long ago, held a light that shone so brilliantly. The time for their journey had come. The time to cast off the veil of darkness and bring the world once more into light. And if I could skip through the rest of this, I would, but the game does not allow you, so just enjoy the music with me. Alright, there we go. I think that might be it for this episode. I think we'll go and quickly rest up in the inn. We managed to rescue the princess. Of course, we get another random encounter. But I think we've done enough for this part to wrap it up, and then next time we'll proceed to the next location, meet a couple new characters, and proceed a bit further with the story. So I hope you all enjoyed. Any feedback is always welcome. It's something I will always appreciate having. But otherwise, enjoy yourselves. Have fun with whatever it is you're doing, and I will see you all again.